What is going on, everybody? My name is Ryan, coming back at you with another pre-workout review. Brandon is back.
What's going on, guys?
You might know him from the last video. If not, you can check him out on Instagram at BMoneyFit. Link will be in the description below. So today we're going to be talking about Lyca Pro supplements, Pump and Focus. So Lyca Pro is probably a brand that you guys haven't heard of before, and that's because they're a smaller company that was formed a couple years ago by former IFBB pro Jeff Long. You can check him out on Instagram at IFBBLong. Basically, when Jeff retired from the stage, he started Lyca Pro supplements, and he really had a goal of producing quality products that are actually going to help you in the gym, and I think this product right here is a really good representation of the company. So we're going to do what we do on this channel. We're going to go through the label, explain everything. We're going to share with you our personal experiences having used this one, and we're even going to talk about the taste a little bit. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
all right, stay tuned. So one of the big things that I like about this product and Lyca Pro supplements in general is that Jeff leaves this little note actually on every product with his signature there, and he promises that there are 0 artificial coloring or dyes in here. When you mix it, they all look the same. All the flavors have that like weird brown color, but don't be alarmed. It's just because there's no artificial colors in there. 0 fillers, 100% formulated by Jeff Long, and everything's transparent. No proprietary blends here, which is super nice. All right, so to start off, the part that matters least, flavor and mixability. So I have the strawberry kiwi flavor right here, and I actually finished the entire tub pretty much. There's like maybe 1 scoop left here. Brandon has the raspberry. We've actually both tried each flavor, and I have to say the flavor is pretty rough. What do you
definitely,
think?
guys. Obviously, you know, we always say on this channel, flavor is the least important element of a pre-workout, obviously, and this is definitely one of those cases where that applies.
So basically, I don't want to take a lot of points off for the flavor, really, because part of the reason that I think the flavor is on the iffy side is because of this absolutely loaded label that this pre-workout has, which we're going to get to in a minute. And I think that kind of justifies why it doesn't taste very good. The flavoring itself actually isn't terrible. Like on the first sip, it's not bad, but it has this really chalky and not very smooth texture to it. And that's just because of the nature of the ingredients. I don't think there's anything that they could have done to make this taste better with the ingredient profile that it has. So with that being said, the strawberry kiwi flavor, you're definitely going to taste a little bit of something fruity, but it still has that like chalky kind of weird aftertaste to it. But for me, something that I found is that if you mix it with the recommended 12 ounces of water, it makes it a little bit more bearable. I personally haven't had a problem getting it down, really. What do you have to say?
Yeah, so I'm usually the kind of guy to put as little water in a pre-workout as possible, take it almost like a shot or two, but this one, like Ryan said, definitely you're going to want to use at least 12 ounces of water, just because, I mean, you're looking at an almost 23-gram scoop. And another thing with the flavoring, if they were to add even more flavoring elements, that would just make the scoop bigger, getting close to the size of a scoop of whey protein almost at that point. So as far as the raspberry goes, you can definitely taste somewhat of the flavor, somewhat of that bomb pop flavor we've been seeing a lot more as a staple of pre-workout flavors these days.
Yeah.
Again, with the texture, a little bit rough, a little bit hard to get down. But I mean, once you get past the flavor, I mean, this label, we're gonna get into it in just a minute here, guys. But this label is like one that's definitely gonna be worth it.
Yep.
Once you get it down. So
overall, drinkable.
Drinkable.
But I've tasted better pre-workouts in my time.
Yeah.
All right, so the next part, and the part that I think you guys are going to find pretty interesting, is the label. This is a very, very unique formulation in a good way. There was definitely no pixie dusting here. So I'm going to put the label up on screen so you guys can see what I'm reading. And the serving size is 1 scoop, 21.92 grams. That is massive. That is a huge scoop. One of the biggest that I've seen in a pre-workout. And like Brandon said, that's actually coming up on like the size of a whey protein scoop, which is absolutely mind-blowing, but pretty cool. We have 30 servings per container, which is good to see. No 25, no 40-20, nothing like that. Just 30 honest servings. Going into the ingredient list, we start off with L-citrulline malate, 1:1, 6 grams. Good dose of citrulline. Citrulline's a staple in pre-workouts these days. Obviously, it's going to help with nitric oxide production and pumps. And as you'll see, this label has a lot of stuff for pumps. So going down, we have Glycer Pump, 65% glycerol at 3 grams. That is a really hefty dose of glycer pump or glycerol, and I'd have to say that's probably my favorite pump ingredient. Every pre-workout or pump product with glycerol, I just find gives me a really good pump. Basically, that's going to help with muscle cell voluminization. Next up, we have betaine anhydrous at 3 grams. Again, excellent dose. There's really nothing on this label that's underdosed, but betaine is going to help with like strength and muscle power output. Next up, we have a really cool ingredient that you're not going to see on a lot of labels, and that is Pico 2 at 2 grams. So essentially, Pico 2 is a patented ingredient, and as you can see, this label actually has a lot of patented ingredients on it, which is nice to see. Pico 2 is going to help with endurance, essentially. There's no beta-alanine in this formula, so I'm thinking that the Pico 2 is kind of like a replacement for that, which, you know, I think is okay. I mean, I know you like the tingling. In your
definitely.
But...
And even if you want, guys, even if you want that full like Stim junkie kind of itch that you see in most other pre-workouts, you can get a cheap beta-alanine supplement almost at any supplement store. Yeah. Put a scoop or 2 in, you're set.
If you're really that heartbroken over it, you can add it yourself.
If you're a real lover of beta-alanine like me, you'll get by. It's nothing to worry about.
So moving on, we have L-tyrosine at 2 grams. Good dose of tyrosine that's going to help with mental focus. Agmatine sulfate, 1.5 grams, another very common pump ingredient. I never really see it at more than 1 gram in pre-workouts, but again, 1.5 grams, super awesome dose going along with everything else in this label. Green tea extract leaf is Vaso-6, that's another trademarked ingredient. 300 milligrams, that is a good dose, that's also going to help with pumps. Same with L-norvaline, 250 milligrams, an amino acid that's going to help with nitric oxide production. Alpha GPC, 50%, we got some nootropics in here. 600 milligrams, good dose. And I'm going to skip this one. Huperzine A, 1%, 200 micrograms, another one that we like to see in pre-workouts. It's usually at the bottom of the label, and that's where it is here. 200 micrograms is a good dose, going to help with focus. Then, I skipped this one on purpose. I did not forget about it. Caffeine anhydrous, 125 milligrams. That is not something that you really see on labels these days. But believe it or not, that's actually one of the main reasons that I like this pre-workout a lot. So 125 milligrams is really not that big of a dose of caffeine for a pre-workout. I mean, maybe for a beginner pre-workout. But just to be clear, do not be turned off by the amount of caffeine that this pre-workout has. I mean, yeah, like 125 milligrams is comparable to like C4 Original or like some Walmart pre-workout. But this pre-workout is on a completely different level because of the massive pump formula that it has. So don't think that it's a beginner pre-workout or anything like that. And we're going to get into the experience later, but 125 milligrams of caffeine, definitely on the lower end. And overall, this is just a really crazy label. I mean, I haven't really seen too much else like it. It's very unique in the sense that it has a very loaded pump, power, and endurance complex with just a little bit of stims. How does this all come together? We're going to talk about that in a minute, so stay tuned. All right, so now that we've ran through the label and talked about the taste, we're going to get into the part that you all care about, the experience and the recommendations. So when you take this pre-workout, once you get past the taste, it's a pretty quick hitter. It gives you a little bit of energy. That 125 milligrams of caffeine will get you moving, even though we've taken pre-workouts with a lot more. It still gives you a little kick in the ass and gets you up and running. And then the pumps,
stupid,
absolutely insane pumps, like skin tearing pumps. These are the kind of results, the pumps that this delivered really made me feel like I was taking a dedicated pump product. I've never had any pre-workout that gave me this kind of pump. I mean, this stuff is absolutely loaded. I mean, as you can see from that massive scoop, there's no way you're not going to get a good pump with this. No, I mean, it's just, it's really breathtaking. So besides the pumps, I mean, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, so guys, going back to the 125 milligrams of caffeine, this pre-workout, we like that. We both agreed that that is a good dose, purely for the reason that obviously this isn't a Stim junkie pre-workout, but on the flip side of that, this is one you could take every day if you needed, right? You know, you could take this as to cycle off like higher Stim pre-workouts. You could throw it in a few times a week in between them. Like, and for what you're getting, it feels like you're taking more than just the 125 milligrams of caffeine. Like Ryan said, the power, the energy is definitely there, along with the stupid pumps.
Yeah.
But this isn't one to sleep on just because you see a caffeine dose under 300 milligrams, you know?
So I could think of at least 5 people that would use this pre-workout, and I'm going to tell you where it kind of fits into my pre-workout usage, because you guys have seen the reviews we've done on this channel. They're generally like more Stim Junkie oriented, but I guess you could say this is kind of like our softer side. So there's a lot of cases where I use this. Number one, it's a great daily pre-workout. If you don't want to get stimmed out and you just want to go in the gym, have a little kick of energy, and get a great pump, this is exactly what you're looking for. Number two, like Brandon said, if you're cycling off stims or high stims and you just want like something with a little bit of caffeine to get you going, this is perfect because it's not like a beginner pre-workout like C4 that has essentially no pump ingredients. A lot of people think that if you're going into like a lower stim pre-workout, you're going into like a lower end one, and this absolutely defies that rule. This has like a pump package and a power package that is way beyond most pre-workouts on the market. So just because it has the lower stim doesn't mean that you're not going to have a really, really great workout from it. Number three, late at night. Sometimes I train late at night. The day gets away from me and I have to go to the gym on the later side and I still want to go to sleep after. 125 milligrams of caffeine will get me going. I'll have a good workout, but I can actually go to sleep after. It won't keep me up all night. Yeah. Number four, this also could be taken by a beginner, believe it or not. Unlike, you know, C4, which is the pre-workout that I think most people start
basically
with. You could give this to a beginner. No doubt about it. 125 milligrams of caffeine for a new pre-workout user won't put them over the edge, and they'll get a great pump from it. So I think it really, really would be great for beginners as well. Number five, people that are sensitive to stims. There's some people that can't handle some of the massively loaded pre-workouts out there. They just can't do it. So what does that leave them? That usually leaves them C4 and stim-free pre-workouts. And, you know, sometimes they will, you know, combine a stim-free pre-workout with like an entry-level one so that they have like a low stim one, but still a good pump package. With this, you get it all in one. You know, if you're someone that's sensitive to stims and you don't like a lot of caffeine, this is a really good option for you because it does not skimp on anything. I mean, it really doesn't. All right, so to wrap this up, Leica Pro Supplements, great brand. I've actually tried some of their other products too, which maybe I'll review on the channel. They have a fat burner, a protein powder, an EAA, BCAA product. They actually do have a non-stim pre-workout as well, and some merchandise on their website. So there will be a link below in the description if you want to check them out. Second of all, some of you may have looked at the price and seen that on the Leica Pro Supplements website, it's actually a tad bit expensive, but we actually have a better price. If you go to Coalition Nutrition, which is our local nutrition store, they have this for $46, which is very reasonable for what you're getting here. Like I said, this is an absolutely loaded label, and for 46 bucks, that's a pretty good price for this. I think that really covers it. Overall, solid pre-workout, great for a lot of people. You have anything to say before we head off?
Basically, yeah, going back, the price might hold you back a little bit, but when you think this is an honest 30 serving tub, something you don't see a lot today with pre-workouts, you almost never. Most of the time you're getting at most 25, or then there's always the 40-20 option, but an honest 30 serving here, guys. So for the price, definitely worth it, especially if you can go to Coalition and pick it up.
Yep, super high quality, great products. Good job, Jeff. Be sure to check out Brandon on Instagram, and we will see you guys in the next one.